A 9:20 here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Most of us have been on a road trip or two. The hassle of paying a toll, but now scammers are using that familiarity against you. From the Better Business Bureau in Western North Carolina is Juliana O'Rourke joining us this morning about this toll scam that we're hearing about, certainly with spring break this week and folks coming back home or traveling out and about towards the summer. And that's going to be a situation. So what is happening here with this toll scam?
Yeah, so it's something we've seen in the past and it just seems to be coming back around. Obviously, like you mentioned, spring break time, summer break, people are traveling. And so what ends up happening is you essentially get a text message. It comes mostly in text message form, but you could also get an email that just says, hey, you owe X amount from driving on this particular toll road. And a lot of times it's coming from states and places you actually haven't been or roads you have not been on. And so that makes it pretty easy to tell right away, that's not legitimate. But if you get one from a place you have been on a toll road and you aren't maybe sure, double check with the actual agency that sends that information out, the DMV for that particular state, what have you, because a lot of times these text messages are fake and they want you to pay, immediately. Otherwise, you're going to have this $50 late charge or what it might be, but it's fake. And so what they're essentially trying to do is send you a link, click on that link, put in your information, put in your payment information, and then all of a sudden, that's how they can create identity theft.
Yeah, so the obvious ones that, like you just said, you're not on that toll road, but I mean, the urgency tactic works so well. Why is that?
Yeah, so the scammers know that urgency and high pressure makes people uncomfortable, makes them nervous. People don't want to get in trouble for things that are simple. Let me pay this toll. And so that urgency makes people very nervous. So we always tell people, no matter what it is, just take a breath, take a minute. Normal agencies, normal companies, they don't send things like this. And they certainly don't give you a deadline of you have to pay immediately or within 1 hour or, we're going to give you this huge fine or we're going to shut off your electric or power or what have you, because they use it in all these different scams across the board. And so you just want to be careful if you get a text message like that. I think we're all used to getting unsolicited text messages. You're used to getting these random messages from random phone numbers that say all different types of things, whether it's toll roads, delivery scams, you name it, you're getting all these different solicitations. And so you kind of just want to group that in the same arena. And oftentimes too, these places don't text you. That's not their preferred method of communication. So they're not just going to text you out of the blue, especially if you haven't already received something in the mail.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Any word or reports of if that's happening, like in the Carolinas?
Yeah, so we do see it here happen. Around here, we do get it locally. I haven't checked recently to see, hey, in the last couple of weeks, but we do. Yes, it happens here. So I know that it touches closer to home for a lot of people when you think that, it doesn't happen around this area. It's not happening to my friends. But I actually get those text messages, I feel like once a week at this point. Between that and the delivery scams, I'm like, oh gosh, you guys keep Verizon in business.
Yeah. They look so legitimate.
They do. And they're, they get better and better at making them look legitimate. And so anytime you get a text message that you didn't ask for and it has a link especially in it, don't click on it. If you're not sure, like I said, double check with the agencies that actually send that kind of information out. If you're concerned, hey, maybe I do owe something, double check.
And if you already clicked on it, realize that you were scammed, what do you do?
Yeah, you want to definitely report that to us at BBB via BBB Scam Tracker. You could also double check and reach out to your financial institutions, making sure nobody got access to any of your information. You can put a freeze on your credit. Those are all steps just to take extra caution that nobody's taking advantage of you or your money.
All right, so just go ahead and check with the actual agency directly.
Yes.
All right, the other scam is the sponsored ads. Tell us what this is about.
Yeah, so we all shop online, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're shopping online, you get served sponsored ads kind of all over the place. It also happens too if, hey, you've been searching online, you've been looking for this great pair of shoes, you haven't decided to buy them yet, now all of a sudden you're on all these different websites and you get these sponsored ads with that same pair of shoes. It's called retargeting. But oftentimes, these sponsored ads are real, but there's times where they're not real and they're purchased by scammers and they serve you these ads that look really legitimate as well. And they want you to click on them because they're a better deal, if you will, than maybe what you saw on a different website. And unfortunately, you click on the ad, you go to the website looks legit because they're really good at making lookalike websites look real. And then you go to make the purchase, you put in all your information, and then either you never get the product or you might get confirmation emails, but all of this stuff is fake. fake. Everything looks kind of a little bit fake. When you get to a website, if you do click on any of the links, you want to check to make sure it's secure. So it's HTTPS with the little lock symbol. You want to check to see if there's spelling errors, are there grammatical errors. You can even do reverse Google image searches to see where else are these images appearing that, this same website has. So you want to do a little extra research anytime you're shopping online, regardless if you're clicking on a sponsored ad or just an ad that you see randomly on a social media platform. You just want to be really careful.
So, I mean, and really the bottom line here is you got to be proactive.
Yes. And if something is too good to be true from a pricing standpoint, we all know how that goes. I mean, you want a nice pair of shoes and they're $100 on several different websites. All of a sudden you see an ad, you can get them for $30. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just too good to be true. We know this.
Oh, I wish. All right. So the sponsored ads, though, what is the purpose of having a sponsored ad?
Yeah. So sponsored ads, a lot of companies purchase those because then they show up a little bit higher in search results. And so they appear more often. They sort of pay for the placements, if you will. And so that's why I said a lot of times they're legitimate.
They are legit.
They are legit. Yeah. Companies do this, right? But there's often times where they're not legit too, and they're scammers, because scammers know how this stuff works, and they spend a lot of time trying to take advantage of us and take our money. And so you just want to be so careful. Oftentimes, if you see something in a sponsored ad, you should also be able to go out to that company's website and find that same deal, information, what have you. And if you can't seem to find it, call the company and be like, hey, I saw this ad. I'm not comfortable clicking on it on social media. Are you running some kind of campaign? Do you have some deal going on or some offer? I just am not comfortable clicking on that. And
right.
I would think the company would say, hey, no problem. We can talk to you. We can let you know, what
if you get a real person.
Yeah. If you get a real person. But just be careful. Yeah.
And it is one of those things. When I see the sponsored ad from what seems to be a legitimate company, I skip it and I go to just below it, and that's also the legitimate company.
Yeah.
And I'll click on the non-sponsored ad version of that company.
Because that's usually their legitimate website. And also, when you work behind the scenes and you work with a lot of this stuff, I also know, if I click on that, they're going to get charged for me clicking, whereas I could just scroll a little bit more and then there's their website. Now, if you go to the website and you can't find the specific ad, then that's when you should reach out to them and say, hey, I saw this, didn't want to click on it, but, is it legit or not? And they'd be able to tell you.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to know. All right, Juliana O'Rourke from the Better Business Bureau. Appreciate your time this morning coming in. Toll scams, sponsored ad scams. Yeah. We'll have more scams down the road. I'm sure we'll cover those as well. All right, Juliana, thanks.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.